On May 18th, Uganda joined the rest of the world in commemorating International Museums Day 2025, a global tribute to the power of museums in shaping inclusive, resilient communities. This year's national celebrations were hosted in Kabale District, a region rich in tradition and culture, and home to Uganda's newest regional museum. The State Minister for Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities, Honorable Martin Mugara Bahinduka, used the platform to unveil the government's plan to expand Uganda's museum network.
Museums are not just cultural centers, but also increasingly important components of Uganda's tourism economy, contributing to both revenue generation and public education. These figures underscore the urgent need to further invest in museum infrastructure, digitization, and community engagement, especially in regions rich in cultural heritage like Kigezi region. According to the Museums and Monuments Strategy 2023-2024, 2029-2030, the government of Uganda, through the Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities, has planned to construct museums in all regions of Uganda by 2030. This is because museums are education laboratories with the current education curriculum. Primary school children and students from secondary and tertiary institutions must visit museums as part of the requirements to attain their learning objectives. It is against this background that the government of Uganda deliberately seeks bring such services closer to the communities. The government has now prioritized the development of supportive infrastructure to catalyze investment into the development of these sites. In terms of cultural heritage conservation, government has plans to develop roadside infrastructure that include, and the PS spoke to this, equator points and museums in all regions of this country and heritage resources. The ministry is in the process of verifying the second schedule of historical sites with significant value to Uganda. I want to encourage, I've seen the mayor here, to encourage the local leadership, work with other departments, that the sites that were not captured in the second schedule can be captured in this schedule. I also therefore call upon the private sector players to invest in the development of the untapped tourism resources in the region, especially around Ekumutanda, Ugahinga, Burundi, Anunga and other places within Kigezi region.
The minister also emphasized the importance of turning heritage into opportunity, calling on Ugandans to use locally available materials to create marketable crafts that appeal to tourists.
One principle of the Museums and Monuments Act of 2023 is to promote and guide public-private partnership in conservation of culture and natural heritage resources of Uganda. Government is committed partner with the private sector to take advantage of this untapped tourism potential based on iconic heritage sites in our villages operations. For instance, I encourage local communities to develop handcrafts, unique to their clients, autotons that can be sold these heritage tourist sites. I'm reliably informed that here in Kabale we have several of those from Tekabonyoni and all these others. And Kabale contributes significant number of people visiting our tourism sites across the country. That is why, for instance, Tekabonyoni is projected to have around 60,000 visitors ending this year, 2025.
Speaking on behalf of the Permanent Secretary Doreen Katusim, Jeffrey Saremba praised Uganda's strides in cultural preservation, noting that 309 heritage sites have now been documented and 2 regional museums in Soroti and Kabale are fully functional.
The foundation for Uganda's museums was laid in 1903 when Sir Askew instructed commissioners to collect community artifacts aiming to preserve our heritage in the face of growing modernization. This marked a period of enlightenment as Western ideas on faith, reason, and humanity began to influence our communities. Our first heritage legislation, introduced in 1934, was the ordinance to provide for the preservation of objects of archaeological and paleontological interest. Though colonial in origin, it laid the groundwork for heritage protection. After independence, this evolved into the Historical Monuments Act of 1967. At the moment, we have got in place a new law, the Museums and Monuments Act 2023. Chief guest, we thank His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda, the Cabinet, and the entire legislature for the support in passing this law into an act. We deeply appreciate your leadership and commitment to preserving Uganda's cultural legacy.
When we have such a good gathering, it means a lot to Kabale District. And for choosing Kabale, that means Kabale has reached somewhere as far as tourism is concerned. That's why we are looking forward to having a tourism city.
The event was amplified by the Explore Kigezi campaign, which brought together tourism enthusiasts and celebrities on a tour across the region's cultural and natural gems.
Tukati twagala okubuulira abaana abato ebyo batumye muhulikize ate twagala okwogera eri abazadde kandi nimwe abasire muhurre mukole nnyo mufeeyo nnyo okutwala abaana bano balabewo bwe twafa mutwale abaana babanyo bamanye balutire where did we come from mubukawukakiki ekyo kijja kubongera okusiima Mukama Katonda era bamanye nti Mukama Katonda azze atukuza mu mbeera zonna era tewaalingawo ssimu ruhanga urwamanya y'umwarimu urasema ruhanga mndonga ako kubangukayeho agamazima kutuwetangiza za WhatsApp zanzikariho edda tewalingako gaali abantu batambulanga butambuzi natwala information akala abantu bwaba batambuza biterekete baratwala information ingo butumwa kati newankubadde kati tekinologi waali tuli basitufu nnyo olw'okulaba tekinologi naye tufeeyo nnyo okutereka ebintu ebyo bye twakozesanga edda kisobose okubeera nga generation ezinajjawo nga ffe tuvuddewo zirabewa gye twava zongere okuyiga zeeyongeremu n'okukola ate ennyo.
The museum space is evolving, no longer just halls of memory, but classrooms of the future. Outreach programs now integrate heritage into Uganda's curriculum, bringing young people face to face with their past. As Uganda's Museums and Monuments Strategy 2023 to 2030 takes shape, the message rings clear. A nation that knows where it comes from can better shape where it's going. From Kigezi's hills to the heart of Kampala, from handmade crafts to digital exhibits, International Museums, Day 2025 was more than a celebration. It was a declaration: Uganda's past is not forgotten, it's alive, it's powerful, and it's ours to protect. Highland Television, elevating your view.